Chapter.
Welcome, everybody, to the MMA Mainstream Podcast. I'm James with Kaelyn, and what are we going to do? Talk about mainstream MMA. Let's go ahead and get into it. Bellator happened last weekend. You were in attendance. You had fun, and you don't remember it. That's awesome. Great.
Not a lot of it. I remember what I should have remembered.
It's all good. That's what matters. Big Al fought on the card. Unfortunately, he lost on this card. I do not recall how he lost. It was a
TKO. It was pretty quick in the first round. I think it was around 38 seconds around that time. He got hit with some really good shots. That guy was pretty good. But man, when you get clipped like that, it kind of throws you off. Got wobbled a little bit. It's really hard to recover from something like that. So, it just wasn't his night, but he was in good spirits after, so that's good.
Very true. It's as long as he's keeping up spirits, because he can always come back. He's still a young fighter.
Yeah,
he still has a long way to go, and hopefully he'll keep it up and make a great return to the Bellator cage again. We shall see what happens. We'll get into the main card in our picks. I screwed the pooch on this one. This one was horrible for me. I literally had I didn't pick any of the correct fights. Like, I was all wrong. The entire fight card.
What's funny is that fight that's pulled up right now, Parrish. So that I wasn't expecting that. I do remember that because that was a fast TKO there. I was surprised. That kind of came out of nowhere.
I guess I should have picked the psychotic white dude to get the win. That's where I screwed up. The guy who looks like he could possibly be a serial killer. Yeah, and he would win. Yeah, just my luck.
Yeah, he did good. It was surprising. It was a pleasant surprise because I wasn't ready for that. I thought it was going to be like a boring fight or something, but caught me off guard.
It was not.
I do remember that one.
All right, so we have Parrish getting the win by TKO, and you got one pick right out of this whole card.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and get to that. You picked Gracie over Lemminger, and that's where I screwed up. So,
but also did not know it was going to be a TKO finish.
That's true. I mean, let's be real. You expect a Gracie competing, you expect a submission.
That's what I was
expecting.
Simple. I was expecting not even a stand-up fight, but he did it, so that was pretty cool. Wasn't expecting that either.
Yeah, so he added to his win record. And then in the main event, we both picked Yoel Romero, and Phil Davis came out and got the decision win.
Yeah, Phil Davis looked really good against him.
Dana White was like, "Hey, Bellator, good luck." Yeah,
I know. Yeah, well, Dana White's got some issues with every
Dana White. Yeah, you're right. He really does. But I can understand, like, it's what Yoel are we going to get? Are we going to get the dangerous killer? Are we going to get the guy who's like...
what? He looked dangerous. He was still throwing bombs. It's just Phil Davis was so much better in all the other areas, taking him down, ground control also. And looking at him against Yoel, there's a size difference. He's a lot taller than him. And I think that helped him on the ground.
And Davis is way leaner.
He is. He's big, but he's lean.
Yeah.
But he looked really good. He just looked like he had way more control than he did. But Yoel Romero's punches were crazy also because he was throwing bombs, and all he needed to do was land one of them, and he didn't. So, Phil Davis got him down, took him down, handled him on the ground pretty easily, it looked like. But he looked really good against him. I just think the body mass was an advantage for Phil Davis in this one. I wasn't expecting that either, but Phil Davis really came through that night, and I love Phil Davis, so good for him.
Now, did you have fun in San Jose at Bellator?
Oh, yeah, always.
Did you buy me a souvenir?
No, I didn't.
Then I am
for myself.
Then I'm super disappointed, but that's okay. You had fun, and that's what matters.
Yeah, they were only selling shirts.
I know.
Got your shirt.
See, thanks.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
They only had like 3 different ones.
I'm glad you had a good time. The next fight for Bellator, I believe, is next week, and that should be involving Michael Venom Page. Let me double check for us just to make sure. Yeah, versus Lima. Yep.
Oh, there we go.
That will be. That's
really?
further. Is that further down? Yeah, that's further down. It's just on their big events. That's why.
Yeah, I forgot about that though too.
And this will be taking place in the UK. So we will talk a little bit more about this next time. Just giving you a brief preview instead of brief, which I'm trying to combine words now.
You a brief.
Go me. All right, now we're going to move on to last week's UFC card. It was a fight night with the main event having Spann versus Anthony Smith. But we're going to start at the bottom of the main card with Joaquin Buckley versus Antonio Arroyo.
Man.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't a good week for picks.
Yeah.
We tied in our picks for this card. You chose Buckley, who had a gnarly hematoma on his head, but did get the win in the third round.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he really took it to him.
Yeah, I felt like Antonio Arroyo didn't do as much as he maybe could have. I don't know if he was tired, but man, the size advantage that Arroyo had, he didn't use it. I felt like he could have done something with that a lot sooner. But Joaquin Buckley is so tough. He just kept getting in the inside, and oh my God, I was surprised, but I'm glad he got it. So that was cool.
Definitely, he got the win, and you had him as the pick, so that's where you got And this was the fight that shocked the hell out of me.
Me
Nate
too.
Mannis versus Tony Gravely. And I told you I was going to use it earlier. I'm going to do it right now. I was gravely mistaken. We both were gravely mistaken in this pick, even though it looked like Gravely was gonna win.
He looked like he already finished him. He sat him down.
Mannis survived and then put him down.
Yeah.
He did what needed to be done.
Yeah. I felt like he was already done. I don't even know how he got back up from that. But I think this was the one where the round saved him, where the time was up, just as he fell back and went back to his corner. It wasn't really that wobbly, surprisingly, but came back out. It still looked like he was having issues, but then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God.
Turned it on and got the win. Yeah. That was ridiculous.
That was crazy. I was not expecting that, and I'm surprised that he had that in him.
I completely agree. And then we had Arman Tsarukyan versus Christos Gallegos. We both chose Gallegos, and Tsarukyan was like, you know what? I heard that they picked against me, so I'm going to go out there and take him out in 2 minutes and 9 seconds of the first round.
Yeah.
Wow.
For sure. That was a fast one.
That was
yeah. I don't know.
That's it. That's all we really have to say. Like, it was quick.
I know.
I love these put him down.
We have these little fight nights that no one really cares about because it's, not a pay-per-view. The headliners, Anthony Smith is pretty popular, but nobody, it's not pay-per-view status. The fight card wasn't as stacked as some of the other ones were. But I love these fights because these ones are actually really exciting. Now I know people can know who these people are now. So next time they fight, they can have a better idea of where they came from and what they already have done. Getting those knockouts makes me excited. I always end up figuring that out later as those fight nights are really exciting too. Also, never underestimate like the prelims too. Those are really good. But it makes it really good when you aren't expecting that kind of thing to happen.
Very much so. I guess we both expected more out of Gallegos because we both picked him, but
I remember I didn't really know anything about him before, so I was like, I don't know.
I should have went with Arman. Arman was the man in that fight. And then let's keep progressing up the card. Female fight, Lipsky versus Bohm.
This one was a pleasant surprise also. I was also a little frustrated too. I was telling you earlier, but so Lipsky was doing very well, throwing heavy hands, landing a lot of them. I don't know how Bohm didn't get knocked out from those because she was in some trouble for a while, but Lipsky just looked so, like, her punches were so much stronger, it looked like. I also got frustrated because I thought Lipsky should have finished her. I don't understand how Mandy came back and lasted that fight without getting finished, and actually was throwing some heat towards the very end of the fight. Of course, it was too late for that, but I was pleasantly surprised to see the power that Lipsky had. I just wish she had finished her, though. It makes me mad because I know a lot of girl fights, there's not a lot of finishes, but this girl looked like she had power to do it. Still didn't do it unless the other girl was just that tough. I don't know. But it's frustrating. I'm like, how did these people just come back after you had them pretty much finished? They come back and still end up either finishing the fight or even have a comeback. But
It's a certain level of toughness that I'm pretty sure I may possess if I ever had to find out, but I don't have to find out, so I do not possess it to my knowledge.
no, but those punches that Lipsky threw, those were ones that could definitely knock you out. Those were like right on the chin, right there, perfect spot. And I just don't understand. That girl is super, super tough, but I think a lot of other people got knocked out.
Well, Mandy is a certain level of toughness because she was able to withstand all those total strikes.
Yeah.
116.
And they
Wow.
were all pretty significant. You know?
Yeah, Lipsky did a great job and did get the decision. Sucks she didn't put her away, but I mean,
yeah, that makes
she showed she
mad.
can go 3 rounds.
You never, you hardly ever see girls throw that hard of punches. I'm just, man, why couldn't they finish her, you know? I don't know, but maybe Bohm's just that tough. You never know.
Very true. Yeah, her nickname is the Monster.
That's what they're, the commentators are mentioning that too. They're like, where's the Monster at? We need her to step it up. She needs to come through because she was getting hit and, she didn't get put out, but, she didn't quit. So I guess maybe that's why she's the Monster.
And moving on, we have Cutelaba versus Clark. We both picked the Hulk, and he got the decision win. And I sent you a photo on one of the social media platforms. I don't recall which one. And Clark's teeth were punched in.
They were, was it his bottom teeth? That was it, that one?
Yeah.
They were folded.
They were wrecked.
Yes.
Ew. I feel bad for him, and I feel bad for his dentist.
Yeah, and I think the headline on that was, it's just surgery anyway,
Oh, okay.
All nonchalant.
Right.
It's just surgery. Yeah, I guess.
While you're doing this, can you do my knee? Like, come on, man. That's not how it works, bro.
It's just surgery. God, that had to have hurt, though. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if my teeth got knocked in like that in a fight. I don't know if I could keep going after that, knowing, unless the adrenaline covers up. You never know. But
when that adrenaline stops.
Oh, yeah.
Pain City.
Adrenaline wears off pretty quickly once you realize.
I want to know, because of what happened, the damage that was done. I mean, could he even eat solid foods? Like, was he like, all right, let's go to Jamba. I need a smoothie. Like,
I don't
what's
know.
the situation?
What do you do? Like, I would assume you immediately go to the emergency room to get something for that. And the way the picture looked, I know his teeth looked knocked in, but it also looked like the bottom of his gums were knocked in.
Yeah, his gum. Also. Yeah.
That's part of your jaw. So I don't know if he had a broken jaw in the front or if it's just his teeth or what, but it was pretty gross. It was pretty crazy. Unfortunately, your mouth guard doesn't go over the bottom teeth. So
that's true. They haven't perfected that yet. That's for sure.
Yeah, that'd be annoying. I wouldn't want that, but
that's true.
Hard to breathe.
That'd be a lot going on right there. But
one mouth guard is enough. One area is enough. It already can't breathe through it. So.
But Cutelaba got the win.
Yeah, and he looked good too. He looked really good. He was a monster the whole time.
Oh, that's why he's the Hulk. He was rampaging.
Yeah.
Hulk smash. And now we're going to move on to the main event, which was Anthony Smith versus Ryan Spann. And Anthony Smith just wasn't having it. He was like, I'm just going to go in and get the sub. 3 minutes and 47 seconds later.
Yeah, that's good for him. I wish he would do that more often,
Agreed.
I wasn't excited about this main event because Anthony Smith kind of seemed to, I know he's fought a lot of the top guys, so of course that's not easy, but I've also been really disappointed in him because all I feel like I've seen in the last few fights from him is him just getting the crap beat out of him. And it's hard, so I'm not judging. I'm just saying I wasn't excited because I didn't know what was going to happen, but I'm glad that he finally decided to do something. And because Ryan Spann would be someone that you do that, because Ryan Spann is newer than Anthony Smith, does not have as much experience as Anthony Smith. So he pretty much just did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah. Well, also, though, I felt like Spann, out of anybody, would have taken it to the ground and tried to get the submission. Whereas we see that. You with me?
Your screen froze, so no.
Oh, man. All right. So I was saying that I expected Spann to take Smith or try to take Smith to the ground and get the submission, but it ended up being Smith who got the win by submission.
Right. Well, Anthony Smith, I think, has more all-around experience. I know Ryan Spann.
And bigger, I feel like bigger experience as well.
Yeah, I just feel like he's probably been training a hell of a lot longer, facing a lot of big opponents, has had, a lot of big fights under his belt, whatever. But, yeah, I just feel like someone like Anthony Smith with his resume should have done exactly what he was supposed to do. So,
and that's what he did. He got the win, got the W, and we'll proceed on.
Good. I wonder what's next. I don't know. He's already been to the top and fought for that belt. I don't know what's next for him. I guess he can make another run because John Jones is no longer the champ in that weight class. So I don't know.
And we have a John Jones story to report that I imagine a lot of you have heard about. We will be discussing a little bit later. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm curious, though, because he fought Spann, does he go up in
I don't think so.
the rankings, or does he just stay flat and he just adds another win to the record?
I wouldn't expect him to go up any because Ryan Spann
I really wouldn't either.
Ranked number 11, I don't think you're going to get anything from that. I'm glad that he did do this fight so that he could show people what he still can do. So maybe that's a little confidence booster for him, this type of fight, to make another run in the top 5 for that belt. So I don't know what's next for him, but I know he definitely made his way for the next fight, whatever that is.
All right. That is it for the fight night from last week. Now we're going to move on to UFC 266, which is this weekend, and a pretty good-looking card as I was kind of putting together the notes for our picks. Not really notes, but just to write down what our picks will be. So that way I remember them.
Yeah.
Because after the show, I'm like, oh, look, food. Oh.
Food. Yeah.
So we're going to go through that right now. We have Jessica Andrade or Andrade. I don't recall if I think it's Andrade.
Jessica Andrade, I guess.
Andrade.
Yeah. Andrade. And I didn't know she was fighting on this card, by the way.
Oh, she'll be fighting tomorrow, so you still have time to order it up on ESPN Plus or pay-per-view, man.
Dude, this is a good fight card.
Cynthia Cavillo. All right.
Yeah.
Number 1 versus number 5.
Yeah, I think Andrade is going to get this one. She has a lot of experience. Look at the record, too, compared to Cynthia Cavillo is very good, too. She's been brought up very well in the UFC, but Jessica Andrade she's had the belt already, so she's fought in the top.
Champ.
Yeah, she's fought in the top for a long time, so I expect Andrade to get this. I'd be surprised if Cavillo, but I know Cavillo is really tough, too, but I'm pretty sure Andrade is going to get this one, so that's my pick.
All right, same for me. Former champ, number 1. I think she's going to keep it that way. Let's go ahead and move up this fight card as we have Curtis Blades versus Rosenstruck.
This should be good.
I agree. Blades is coming off a loss. Rosenstruck is coming off a win. 14-3 with 1 no contest and 12-2. We got the Razor versus the Big Boy.
Biggie Boy, yes.
It's Big Boy.
Oh, it's Big Boy?
It's
Biggie Boy.
No, it is Biggie Boy. He's just big.
Yeah. Curtis Blades is coming off a loss, and I think he's coming off a really bad knockout. Was it Alistair that did that? Who did he fight last that he got? I think it was Alistair Overeem.
Was it Derek?
Derek Lewis?
Yes.
I don't remember. It could have been either of those two.
I just remember, I think it was Derek Lewis because they went in heavy, and the end, That's why he got the loss. I want to say it was. I should have have their previous fights. Are you gonna look that up? All right, cool.
I am. Yeah, I'm curious.
I'm getting old. Like, my memory's not quite there anymore.
Well, you watched so many UFC fights. Yeah, it was Derek Lewis. So.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I picked Lewis.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, like, let's be real. I like Derek Lewis, and I pick him because his Instagram is one of the best Instagrams I've ever seen. He's okay.
Yeah, I picked Lewis too. He's doing really good. I know. I don't remember his last fight, but he's doing really good too. So I would have picked him also. But we'll see. Rosenstreich is pretty vicious also. So I don't know. This is gonna be a good fight though, I think. And
if this fight goes to decision, don't expect it to go to decision. But if it does, expect two really, really tired big guys.
I know.
That's how it's going to happen. Like, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yep.
Who is your pick in this
fight? I'm
going
to pick Rosenstreich.
I am too. And then that's when Blades is going to be like, I heard about that. So that's why I went out there and won.
I don't know about him right now. I think he might be still shook up from the last one.
He's all, not again.
I don't know.
Don't hit me, Ike. Oh. All right. Now we have I believe it's a middleweight bout now.
They changed it, I heard. I guess.
It went from
welterweight to middleweight.
Welter to middle. Yeah. We were talking a little bit about this and about Nick Diaz, and I am going to pick Diaz. I am somewhat of a Diaz fan.
Yeah, well,
being Californian, couldn't help it. But he's always had like an awkwardness to him, and you did mention about him being awkward.
It was very awkward, and I didn't realize. I know you said that he's always been awkward. I just don't remember it.
He's always been awkward in the sense when it comes to dealing with the media. He doesn't, he admits he doesn't like doing it. Yeah. I get it. It could be taxing. Sure. It takes away from training. It could be a pain in the ass.
I wouldn't want to do it.
You got to deal with so many of these jerk reporters.
Yeah.
And I get it. I clearly understand. Maybe he should just have one presser, get it all out, and be done.
Yeah, and be done. But also, I think back when he was still fighting, there wasn't as much media as there is now. Maybe that's why he looks.
There wasn't as much mainstream media covering it. That's the difference.
Right. Yeah,
because it wasn't on ESPN. It was on other networks, and everybody was trying their hand at it in a sense of, let's see what this MMA thing is about. So they went broader.
I thought it was going to be a lot better. Like, I thought there's going to be a lot more hype behind this one. I feel like there's not for some reason.
I feel like it's 10 years too late.
Of course it is. And it is. Because looking at Nick Diaz, I'm like, man, he doesn't look like he used to look. He looks old.
He does. He still trains, and he's still athletic. He just doesn't look athletic.
He doesn't look like it
he's
anymore.
Looks like he's rocking the dad bod.
He very well may be. Yeah. So he's definitely filled out. I'll say.
Yeah. Let's be honest. I feel like if this fight goes deep into the rounds, because I believe it's a 5-round fight.
Yes, it is.
If it goes deep into the fight, Nick Diaz has the advantage. I am taking Nick Diaz as my pick. 209 Stockton, represent.
I don't even know what to go off of because it's been so long. It's really hard to make a prediction. But Robbie Lawler has also been not so impressive in his last few fights. I remember that. But he has been a lot more active. I feel like Robbie Lawler. I'm going to pick Robbie Lawler. I just don't know enough about Nick Diaz as of right now. You did back then, but it's been...
It has been quite some time. So what kind of ring rust is he going to have? Robbie Lawler has been competing consistently.
He doesn't even look like he has anything in him, to be honest. So it's hard. I would love to be pleasantly surprised, but I'm picking Robbie Lawler.
All right. Well, I'm going with the California.
And that must be a super old pick.
It is. When you look at it, it is, because also look how blown out that pick is. I feel like that pick is as blown out as when he showed up at weigh-ins.
That I feel like that's a pick from 10 years ago.
It
And
probably
they had to use
is.
it.
And that sucks. When you look at his wins by, it doesn't even have any stats for him. UFC, do us a favor. Get it
You
together.
could at least do something for him. I mean, come
Because he
on.
competed in the UFC for a hot minute. Come on.
A good decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't really see the rest of his stats. But we've made our picks, and we will progress up the fight card as we have a flyweight title bout between Valentina Shevchenko and Lauren Murphy. I was watching the one of the behind the scenes as they were preparing for these fights.
The embedded.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And,
I like those.
Man, Shevchenko just scares the shit out of me.
She's good
Just
at
gotta be
everything.
honest.
She's good at everything.
Like
You
solid fighter.
everything.
I almost feel bad for Lauren Murphy. Like good luck. I hope you do well.
I feel the
I don't
same
feel like
way.
you will.
I mean, Lauren Murphy has been really good lately, and this is why she has this chance. With Valentina Shevchenko, she's a different kind of human being, not just a girl, but she's different. You know, she's good at
She's
everything
grown.
she does. She's good at everything she does. She's good at fighting for sure. She does like tactical shooting. She's like an expert marksman type. Does a lot of physically challenging things, and she's so good at it. It's crazy.
So are you telling me that if she doesn't get the win, she will gun down her opponent?
Oh, I don't know. Probably.
That's scary, but
I don't
can
think
see
she's
that
gonna
happening.
lose. I don't know, man. Lauren Murphy has been good. I don't know how she's gonna do against Shevchenko. I'm pretty sure Shevchenko's gonna win. I don't know how, I don't know if this fight's going to go the distance. I'd be impressed if the fight went the distance for Lauren Murphy. I think Shevchenko's going to overwhelm her. Probably, I don't even know Lauren Murphy's background, what she's good at, or where she came from. I don't know if she's like a freestyle fighter or a ground
I believe
fighter.
she's more freestyle. She's from Texas, and her husband, I want to say, is a jiu-jitsu practitioner and is one of her trainers.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what her strongest discipline is, but I imagine she's an MMA fighter. She tries to be good at everything. So
yeah, so she was on The Ultimate Fighter, and that's where I know who she is. I know who she is from that show, and I just know she was not very impressive on that show. She annoyed me because she'd always be crying about something, and that's kind of annoying. But I'm not saying I wouldn't be crying every day on that show, because I probably would be. But she was a little more like trying to figure herself out during that whole thing, and it wasn't impressive. She didn't really do anything impressive during that time, but now she's done very well. Shevchenko's gonna win. I just don't know how, and I'd like to think it's a TKO. I don't know.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's a TKO. So your pick is Shevchenko?
Oh, for sure. I wish I could say how. I don't know how though. She's good at everything.
Like, full disclosure, talking about trash TV and crying all the time. You ever heard of Darcy and Stacy?
No.
Be glad. That is trash TV. If there was a drinking game, it's a reality show about these twin sisters.
Oh.
And one of them was on 90 Day Fiance, which is some of my absolutely favorite trash TV.
Okay, no, I've heard a lot of. I've never watched it. I heard a lot about it though.
Yeah, her and her sister have a reality show now, and I always get them mixed up because they're twins. Darcy. She's like always looking for love. Sorry, folks. We'll go back to MMA in a second. Sidebar. But if it was a drinking game revolving around crying on a TV show, she would win an Emmy. She would win every award that they have. And if it was a drinking game, it would be 20 minutes in, and you would either be super duper passed out, drunk, or dead because she cries all the time. All right. Okay. I've said my piece about that. I too picked Valentina Shevchenko for the win this weekend against Lauren Murphy.
Lauren Murphy looked pretty rough. Like, I don't know what she's been through in her life. She just looks like she's been through a lot. She's pretty emotional. It wasn't impressive. She's been impressive.
Do you mean like rough as in her fights are rough, or rough like, man, that looks like 10 miles of bad road? Ugh.
Yes. The second option you just listed.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I had the feeling maybe she went down a bad path, maybe drugs or something. It seemed like it on the show. So I don't know. Either way, she's been doing good lately. I just don't expect her to win over Shevchenko. That's for sure. She is
Maybe
ranked
she'll.
number 3?
I
I
hope
don't
it wasn't a
know.
drug problem, but if she ever tested positive for coke and it was right before a fight, I mean, that'd be a pretty interesting news story. That's all I gotta say about that. I'm not encouraging it, folks. Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Okay.
Don't do drugs.
All right, now we're up to the main event. It's the featherweight title on the line versus it's Alexander Volkanovski versus ranked number 2 T-City Brian Ortega, 22-1 against 15-1 and 1 no contest.
What do you think is going to happen with this one?
All right, I'm going for T-City.
Are you?
I am.
You think he's going to win?
Yeah, I think he's a great all-around fighter, and he has been showing that with his fights. But with the aggressiveness of Volkanovski, if he came out and destroyed, like, I get it.
You wouldn't be surprised, right?
I would not at all. I wouldn't be shocked. But okay. I feel like the deeper this fight goes, the Ortega has the skills to be able to maintain an advantage and get the win that way.
Yeah, I think Volkanovski's going to win. I think he's done so well for so long now. I feel like he can't fail this one. I mean,
very true.
Brian Ortega, I don't know if he's done anything different, if he's gotten better at a certain thing or not. But I feel like Volkanovski should get this one.
All right. That is our pick for that. But we will continue this conversation. They were both on The Ultimate Fighter. They were the coaches. And I feel like Volkanovski has become, you saw a lot more emotion out of Volkanovski because Brian Ortega is very, very lax, very chill. And
I feel like it's the other way around. I almost feel like.
From just what I've seen of the highlights from the embedded, Ortega was just, more lackadaisical, whereas we started to see that annoy Volkanovski and amp him up even more.
No, you know what I think it is? I think you're right. As of late, during that show, Volkanovski was very, I feel like he was very lighthearted. He was very humorous. He was very light and bubbly. I
feel like it started off like that.
They were pretty good. They were not any kind of drama, like we're going to start a fight and shove each other. But he would always, even with their pranks, they were nice to each other. They gave each other hugs, like, oh, it's all good. It's just a joke. And nothing ever really escalated off of that, which I kind of thought was a little refreshing. That's kind of cool. Also, people probably didn't think that was entertaining, but I thought that was okay. But I feel like as of late, Volkanovski, I feel like he's trying to start something to maybe get extra attention, but I don't actually think he has beef with him.
It could be. It could be just
and he's trying to sell his fight.
A move to either, well, of course you want to sell the fight, but a move to
he's really
to give him a reason to just go out there and just destroy.
But he's really trying to push this fight, though. He's really trying to I think he's trying to get a reaction out of Ortega out of nowhere all of a sudden, because during that show, it wasn't like that, I feel like. Unless I missed it. But from what I saw on that show when I was watching it, I felt like, it was almost, you're not going to see any kind of drama or fights break out because Volkanovski was humorous and Ortega just kind of took it like no big deal. So, I don't know. I think Volkanovski's trying to overplay it a little bit right now, maybe to sell the fight more.
I completely agree with that, and I understand that. But he did have some comments for Ortega at a pre-fight presser this past Thursday, and he said it doesn't sit well with him because of Ortega's past performance-enhancing drug use.
I didn't know about that.
Called him an effing drug cheat.
Well, what happened? What did he take? And
Ortega tested positive for drostanolone in 2014 following his first round submission victory over Mike De La Torre at UFC on Fox 12, which was changed to a no contest.
That is so long ago. I don't know. I don't even know what that drug is, what kind of steroid that is, but
neither do I.
A very long time ago. I almost don't care because it was so long ago,
And it does say that Ortega has easy for me to say, successfully competed 8 times without failing a test, even under stricter guidelines imposed by the USADA.
I'm pretty confident he's not on anything and probably hasn't been for a very long time, even if he was before, which is a really long time ago. That was so long ago. I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm just saying it was a long time ago, and he probably learned his lesson, and he's probably never touched a steroid ever again.
I would like to think so. I hope so.
Yeah.
He is my pick. I hope he does win, and you're choosing Volkanovski. So we shall see. Other than that, we are split on one other fight, and the rest of the fights we have the same. So I do look forward to that. Man, I didn't think I was going to be that excited about this fight card, and then I started doing a little prep.
Well, I only knew about
and
I knew only about the last 3. I didn't know about
they know how to do. I didn't realize Rosenstruck was on the card because I am a fan of his.
Yeah.
The embeddeds, man, they do such an amazing job. Like I would love to work on those. They do such a great job. They're like, hey man, buy the fight. I'm like, nah, that's not my wheelhouse, dog. But I know some people that might, and so I might be able to watch it that way.
You're gonna put more effort into it. Well, since it's a pay-per-view, I'm probably gonna buy it then. Yeah.
I'm trying to kind of coax my buddy into buying it, but I think I probably will because I think he sold on the fight at the end of October.
Oh, okay. But no, going back to the embedded episodes that you're talking about, I would watch those too. I have less time nowadays to do that before UFCs, but when I did, those episodes would make me like a fighter that I never liked before, and almost root for him, even though I never liked him. And for whatever reason, I was judging by whatever and didn't know much about some of those fighters.
The personal lives. It really gets invested in who they are as a person and makes it more interesting. And so it makes you root for these people.
Yeah, but what would get me is their backstory of where they came from, and then I'd be like, oh my God, this guy's not a piece of shit, and he's actually worked his way up to where he's at. So I was like, okay, well, that's respectable. So I ended up actually I've had favorite fighters now based on like those episodes because they would give you all the info, and I didn't know their backstory, but because I watched those, I'm like, oh, okay, so this guy, I don't even know why I didn't like him before. It was kind of stupid, but now that I know his backstory, where he came from, how he started, where he trained, and where he trains now is really respectable. So those episodes really get me too. I just haven't been able to watch a lot of them because I feel like I've already seen them.
And not only that, they also put them out so often because they have a fight card damn near every week.
I know, but also those guys have had a few embedded episodes per fighter, so I've already know most of those guys' backstory. But when I didn't and I watched them, it really kind of touched me. So I ended up liking fighters I never thought I would like, and they ended up being one of my favorites. So I don't know. I like those episodes. I should watch more. But I don't know. I was always really moved by those.
So we have some interesting news to talk about. The GOAT of MMA, Jon Jones, was arrested Friday morning, just hours after his Hall of Fame induction ceremony in Las Vegas. This guy's still, I guess, an active competitor in the UFC, but is already in the UFC Hall of Fame. Not sure how that works. Thanks, Dan.
Maybe they thought we'd catch him before he dies or something, or does something crazy.
Right, before he does a line of coke that just ends it.
Before he gets
arrested. But he was arrested on 2 charges of misdemeanor battery, domestic violence, and felony injuring and tampering with the vehicle. Ooh.
So I don't know what those details are of that. Those charges are pretty serious, and it makes you wonder what the hell happened. I don't know if those are actually what happened. I don't know. Tampering with someone's vehicle, as if to like when I read that, the first thing that comes to mind, I'm like, did he cut someone's brakes or something? Like, what's going on? Did he hit someone? Did he hit another person?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, the information.
Violence, or what? It was domestic.
The information is still coming out, but we also know that he is no stranger to the law. He's such an amazing talent.
I think Vegas got to him.
I think everywhere it gets to him. It's not just Vegas. I just think he just, man.
Well, wait, he's from Albuquerque. Nothing to do there. I get why he's been in trouble, but
except
Vegas?
maybe drugs, apparently. Jesus.
Yeah, for sure.
He's such, everyone knows he's the GOAT. He knows he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
And I feel like he uses that as an excuse in order to do these foolish things. And it's like, man, it's just frustrating.
And you know what? I used to back him. Like, I don't care what he's done. He's still my favorite fighter. He is the GOAT. And I'm just like, oh.
No, I'll admit he's the GOAT, but
I know, but it's
he just can't get it together in his personal life, man. Figure it out. You were 34 years old. You were not a kid. You were a grown-ass man. You need to get it together.
Sometimes it takes longer. I get it.
If this is too much, get out the fight game. Go sell insurance.
But he hasn't fought in a long time, and he says he's coming back next year sometime. So
that's a lot of talk. You better beat these charges.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with those. He's so crazy. I guess he's crazy. I don't know. I thought I gave him the benefit of the doubt the first time. The second time, I'm like, oh, well, he's a little messed up. Now I'm like, oh gosh, something's wrong. Something's going on. Something's wrong with him. He needs to figure some stuff out, like for real this time. I don't know. He hasn't been punished enough, I guess.
Right? Glut for punishment. Hopefully he'll figure it out and get it back together, because we'd love to see him fight again. I mean, we were both fans.
And I would. I just feel less excited about it now. I'm just like,
true.
I almost feel like he was great what he did. If he doesn't come back, maybe I don't care. I don't know. It's crazy.
I do understand that.
I used to back him, even though of all the stuff. I was like, I don't care what happens in his personal life. He's the GOAT, one of my favorite fighters, like the favorite fighter. But after reading this, I'm like, man, you're making it hard to still like you.
Yeah, pretty much. In some other news, Alistair Overeem plans to retire in 18 months and would have liked to have retired with the UFC, but that was just not possible.
Well, he's going to be in Glory fighting Rico Verhoeven. So, I mean, that's a fight to go out on your shield. I don't know. That's a great fight to end on. I don't know what he plans on doing.
Do you think that should be the fight to end on? Or are you...
It depends what happens in that fight.
Do you expect to see his performance?
It depends what happens in that fight. I feel like Rico's going to win. I think everyone thinks that. So if he loses, I'm not even sure where you go from that. Who else are you going to fight in Glory after, you went from UFC, went back to Glory, but in Glory, you're fighting the GOAT in Glory. So when you lose...
I have an idea for like a Freak Show Legends fight. Are you ready?
Oh, okay.
Him versus Ernesto Hoost.
I guess. I feel like Alistair Overeem would fight anybody.
That's true. I'm pretty sure I could get some of my friends in to fight Alistair Overeem.
I don't know what kind of contract he has with Glory. Maybe it's a one-fight thing. Maybe. I don't know what they offer anymore. But, I read that too, that he said he wanted to retire with MMA. I didn't know if it said UFC or not specifically, but...
Do you think Bellator would pick him up? Say he loses.
Oh, yeah. I think Bellator would.
If he wants to finish in MMA, do you think Bellator would take him?
I think if anyone was, it would be Bellator for sure. UFC won't. They're
done. Yeah, they've washed their hands of him. You know what would be, I think, an interesting matchup?
Him and Fedor.
Yup, you read my mind. Because it's Fedor.
They're perfect for each other.
And it's Fedor. Fedor is still. I don't care. Like, Fedor's had some losses. I mean, we've all had losses. I lose all the time. I take the L.
I know, but
Fedor's still the GOAT.
Both of those guys should not be fighting anymore. Maybe
you are actually very correct.
Alistair, I think, has one more, and this is going to be it. After that, I don't think he should fight anymore. But also, Fedor should not have been fighting a long time ago.
You're right. So. No, I do agree with that. But I will regardless always be a Fedor fan.
Yeah, me too.
So, all right, that's that for Alistair Overeem, and then in some lighthearted news, Conor McGregor throws horribly, absolutely terrible.
I guess.
And nearly hits a fan in the front row at a Cubs game.
Oh, you almost hit somebody?
Jesus, man. Yeah. Like, really, dude? Let's see if we can play this. Oh.
He's in a suit.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on, man. Like, I understand you're from Ireland and This is not your sport of choice. But come on.
What was he doing there anyway? They invited him to throw the first pitch?
Probably. It's the Cubs. They get a lot of celebrities to come through. I mean,
yeah, they do.
I'm sure he has a jersey now with his name on it.
Probably.
But we all know, I mean, he obviously throws a punch way better than he throws a ball.
Yes.
So,
I don't know. That was, yeah.
We learned something about Conor McGregor. He will never play catch with his kids. Yeah. And that was the fun bit of news that we had coming out, or the goofy bit of news that we had coming out of that.
I didn't ask earlier. Did you watch the Hall of Fame ceremony?
I did not get a chance to. I
usually watch it every year, but
I want to see. They inducted Kevin Randleman, right?
Oh.
That would be the one I'm most interested in, because I grew up a fan of his, and his passing, man, that hurt, because that dude still had a lot of fight left.
Yeah.
So I am curious to see it, and then especially with the knowledge now with John Jones going on, and I'm like, oh man, he does this and he's gonna just completely screw it up like 2 hours. Awesome, yeah.
Hey, well, at least he already got in, so he's good.
That's true. Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm set.
Well, he was gonna get in anyway, regardless. If he could quit today, stop fighting, he'd be in the Hall of Fame still, anyways.
That's very true. He is the GOAT, and the only person to beat him was Matt Hamill, and that was on a technicality.
That wasn't even
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
shouldn't even. I think a lot of people even argue that shouldn't even be on the record. That should have been overturned. But whatever. I don't think people think about it. I don't think they care about that.
I mean, too late now. Like, it is what it is. Everyone knows about it, and everyone still considers him the GOAT.
So
yeah.
I will say this: John Jones has been beaten by two things: his mama when he was a kid, and the law. Because they catch him. Like, come on, man.
What are you doing? He gets caught a lot. You'd think he'd be better at getting away with that. But I don't know. Maybe he does this stuff all the time, and we're only hearing about the times he gets caught.
Yeah, good point. Very good point. Because we don't live in Albuquerque.
But he's already made that spiel about, oh, I'm changed now, and I'll do better. It's like, you've said that like twice already. So no bothering doing that anymore. Maybe just do it with action.
Just show us. Don't tell us. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Yeah.
So just show us that you're different.
Whatever his next fight's going to be is going to be huge anyway.
Because his comeback fight, that's going to be epic.
I don't think he looks very healthy at heavyweight, though. Do you?
Probably not. He probably needs to, because I don't think he's been in the gym. So he needs to bring that weight down.
I think he's just heavy, not exactly heavyweight fighter status. I think he's just heavy right now.
Hey, pizza involves a lot of carbs, and that can make you fat.
Dude, right? Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. As a big person, I know what's up.
No, pizzas are my downfall, too.
I understand. I'm actually going to go get a pizza right now.
I actually put myself on a diet, so I'm eating very little carbs right now for probably a long time.
Oh, I understand. Today's my cheat day. That's why this is okay.
Oh, gotcha.
So
yeah, I'm not even giving myself cheat days right now. It's that serious.
I understand.
We'll see. I'll probably break down by Sunday.
Damn, by Sunday? Oof.
Yeah.
Well, I will not.
And then you got to get started with another week, so you prepare.
I will not tell you about my pizza experience. I will not tell you how amazing it is and great it is.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add to this week's podcast?
No, I believe not. Nope.
All right. Then, folks, enjoy the fights this weekend, and we will see you next time to talk about, of course, what? Mainstream MMA. I'm James. She's Kaelyn. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.